Hello and welcome to the 14th episode of Fractured Kingdom. In case you did not watch our previous episode, Pete, who plays the party's barbarian, is not going to be with us for the next couple months because he and his wife are expecting their first kid. So congrats again to Pete, but in the meantime, the Crown Gall adventure is on. So, last we left off, the Crown Gall barricaded themselves inside the Gloria Inn in the city of Lux, in the hopes of luring out the illithid that were hiding underneath the city. Their plan worked as the next morning a tall ulitharid broke into the inn, only to be quickly killed by the awaiting party. The Crown Gall then headed back underground to the illithid's strange underground complex, but the eerie base only contained two creatures: a giant tentacled brain which quickly teleported away, and a mind flayer with an enlarged brain and two massive and muscular tentacled arms. Ash recognized the mind flayer as a creature that killed Ralph, the late husband of the Gloria Inn's owner Gloria, and during the close fight, the Crown Gall kept the mind flayer distracted just long enough to kill the aberration and avenge Ralph. The party was initially concerned about the giant brain which teleported away, but after learning the brain left for another plane, the party was finally able to relax and enjoy a few weeks of much-deserved downtime. The party said goodbye to Gloria, who sold the inn in the wake of the traumatic events, but they also gave their farewells to Corvus, the party's barbarian, as he left with the mysterious wizard Alabaster Stein for an important magical ritual. However, the party does not have a lot of immediate time to ponder Corvus's decision, because on the evening of the 1st of Sunpeak, right after Corvus left with Stein, the rest of the party sees two people walk into the Gloria Inn. One is the tall orcish lawmaster Sheth, and the other is a tall elven man with fair skin and long blonde hair. The party unfortunately recognize him as Eldril Argarvran, Mari's father. Eldril's slate eyes scan the inn, and his face shows disgust towards the lowly establishment, while Sheth addresses the party. Good evening.
Hello, Chef.
Hi.
I have some news regarding your request to teleport to Fort Silva.
Oh, great. What's the news?
Good news.
Eldril will cross his arms and say, "You can say that." But Sheth will continue, "Yes, tomorrow, make sure to be at the armory at 9 a.m.
Excellent, thank you.
Wonderful.
Ori does not acknowledge Eldril.
Neither does Mari.
Sheth continues, "As part of allowing your group to use the teleportation circle, General Swiftfoot at Fort Silva will require your assistance with an operation tomorrow evening."
Do you have any more details on the operation?
Is it related to the rifts?
I do not have any details, but it is likely related to them. That would be my guess.
All right.
That's fine.
We appreciate the opportunity to use the circle.
Sheth will look back and forth between Mari and Eldril, as there still has not been any words exchanged directly towards Eldril. So Sheth will say, "I will take my leave. I will see you all tomorrow morning."
9 o'clock.
Thank you again, Chef. Mari turns around.
Ori goes
Sits
back to
down.
her food.
But after Sheth walks out of the inn, Eldril, still with his arms crossed, will look over towards the party and say, "You're welcome."
Did you have to convince him to let us use the portal? Teleport?
No, he had to convince me to get my help to allow you to go on your little errand.
Mari rolls her eyes and just goes back to eating. She's
Will we be seeing you at 9 then tomorrow?
Oh no, my job is here in the city.
Oh, well then. Have a good one.
Eldril lets out a little scoff and looks over towards you, Mari. And he says, "You can try to run away from our family's name, but every good deed you do only adds to the Agarvan family legacy."
Ori looks at Mari and like puts a hand on her like knee, kind of under the table.
Maria's like, she's got like her fork in one hand, and she's like, her other hand, she's just like putting it into a fist, letting it go, putting it into a fist, letting it go, just trying to like relax.
Ori's gonna use her telepathic speech and kind of like look at him out of the corner of her eye and be like, if you're so interested in stolen valor, you might want to try to annoy us less, lest we do something about that connection to the name that you're less fond of.
Eldril will look over towards you, Ori, and say out loud, "Cheap tricks like that will not intimidate me."
Ori shrugs and then doesn't look at him.
Eldril will turn around, and as he does, the party sees two more elves walk in. One of them is a tall elven man wearing a black, somewhat dirty and tattered cloak over what used to be fine clothes, but now also somewhat tattered. The other is a female wood elf with long, braided brown hair wearing black plate armor, who the party recognizes as Atreya.
Oh.
Eldril will stop, and there's an awkward standoff, as Eldril will just say, "Lord Lovnonen."
Good evening, come, take a seat. Here, I'll grab up another chair. Hi, Atreya.
Atreya, so good to see you.
After another awkward moment of silence and stare-off, Kriston and Atreya move out of the way before Eldril walks out. As soon as the door closes behind Eldril, the party sees Atreya let out a long sigh and slump her shoulders as she looks very exhausted. But she'll walk over towards you, Mari, and give you a big hug and whisper in your ear, "We've got to talk."
Okay, should we go for a walk? I whisper back. That wasn't my whisper voice.
Atreya will release a hug and stand up and say, "We need to have a talk with all of you."
Great, join us, please.
Can I get either of you something to drink?
Kriston will speak up and say, "Not here at my manor, where there's less prying ears."
Oh. Okay. Sure. Ori will stand up kind of eagerly because she assumes this has something to do with Petra, and she wants to hear it.
Yep.
The Crown Gall follow Kriston and Atreya north of the inner city of Lux, over to a quote-unquote rural area, but still pretty close to the main city, over to Kriston's coastal manor. There, as the party is walking up to the front gate, the party sees the sighing elven guard, who they know as Trenta, still standing guard by the front gate. He yells out towards Mari, "She's still not here, so I just turn around," and at that point he stops and realizes that Kriston and Atreya are with the party. So Trenta stands up straight and gives a salute towards Atreya and Kriston.
Ori will kind of like waggle her fingers at him and be like, "Hi."
As we pass him, Mari gives him a big pat on the back.
Mari, make a perception check.
Sorry. 14.
As you're walking by, you hear Trenta mutter in Elvish underneath his breath, "Show-offs." As the party follows Kriston and Atreya into the large manor, they walk in through the front double doors. They walk into the large entryway. There are a couple portrait paintings of elves set up on the walls of the tall lobby area, reminding you somewhat of Eldril's manor, which the party visited a couple months ago. The party sees a short halfling girl who's wearing a black and white maid's outfit. She walks over towards Kristan and says, "Oh dear, what happened to you?" As she fetches the dirty cloak from Kristan, and Kristan just says, "We're okay, don't worry. But if you wouldn't mind, maybe bring up some tea and any food that's ready up towards my study." The halfling nods and says, "Oh, yes, lord, don't worry, I will." She hurries off. Kristan gives a nod in one direction towards the staircase. As he walks over, Atreya holds out a hand for the party to follow. And after a short moment, everyone clambers into a somewhat small study. The party sees 2 large bookshelves covering 2 of the walls opposite one another. There's a large glass window over on the far wall opposite from the door, giving a beautiful view of the sea. Kristan will sit down in a chair, and after Atreya closes the door behind him, he says, "I apologize for not having enough chairs for everyone, but time may be of the essence in this case."
Not a problem at all.
Is this about Petra?
Unfortunately, it is.
Ori kind of fidgets nervously.
Please fill us in.
Oh, where are my manners? I am Kristan Levnonin, which I'm sure you've been able to figure out by now.
Lovely to meet you. Oriole Orion.
Ari introduces herself, even though she knows that he knows who she is.
Knucklemas.
Ash, nice to meet you.
As at that point, Dash also barks up, feeling he's not getting as much attention as he deserves. Kristan will give a nod towards everyone, and he'll say, "Well, from what Atreya tells me about your group, you like to get straight to business, so I'll put this bluntly. I think someone is impersonating Kyvern von Prefect in Petra."
Do I know who that is?
Make a history check.
Oh boy.
Is that the governor?
Ooh.
Or you would know that Kyvern von Prefect is the governor of Petra.
Okay. Wait, what makes you think that?
When he was here in Lux a few months ago, something seemed off by our conversation. And on a recent trip to Petra, where Atreya and I just returned from, I had another conversation with him, which leads me to believe it was not the same person. Now, I know it's not a lot of hard evidence proof here, just going off my intuition, but I've known the governor for many, many years now.
Would we know? So the couple times that we've come into contact with the intellect of ours, we haven't talked to the people that they're inhabiting, right? Like, they don't seem do we know if something can control them, if the intellect of ours can control somebody that they've taken over?
Based off what Ori read from the book about Underdark creatures, which Ori borrowed, Ori would know that intellect of ours can basically puppet and act as people who they puppet.
Okay, so it's not for lack of a better term, zombies. It's they can actually talk and...
Correct, yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Sorry for that aside.
No, good question.
Well, you're right. It's not a lot to go off of, Lord Levnonin, but we can't immediately dismiss your concerns based on, current events.
Recent experience.
Atreya will speak up and say, "Oh, you forgot about the part where we were attacked by a pack of devils on the way home."
What? Where?
Yeah, you do look a little worse for the wear. That was going to be my next question.
It was our first night after leaving Petra.
Oh my.
Devils.
Which
Okay.
is either an awfully strange coincidence
Mm-hmm.
or there's something bigger going on.
Did you speak to anyone about your suspicions in Petra?
Atreya shakes her head and Kristan says, "This has just been between Atreya and I.
Okay.
Okay.
And now you folk here."
So either somebody was listening if you two were discussing it, or whatever's controlling the governor recognized that you might have concerns. Can I do... Recent history has taught me. Can I do an insight check on Lord Livnonen and Atreya? Just to...
Sure, go ahead.
Make sure they're not puppeted.
Gauge if I feel like that they're...
Ooh,
yeah.
Nice.
Everything they're saying appears to be truthful.
Okay.
So you
Also,
left.
with that high insight roll, you can tell that Atreya does look pretty exhausted at this point.
Okay.
You had left rather quickly for Petra and seemed to have come back very quickly as well. Was there something that brought you to Petra for a reason?
Yes, I have an uncle who owns one of the mines down in Petra. So
They're
I
having
went
troubles?
down south under the guise of business, dealing with him, while also having a chance to get a longer conversation with the governor.
Mm.
And we've heard word that there's kind of trouble, something brewing in Petra. What kind of signs? Did you see anything of that?
Kristen shakes his head and says, "No, but having known the governor for many years, he does not appear to be running as head of a ship on the city as what he's normally done in the past."
Can you think of a good pretext for us to approach him? To try to ascertain the situation better?
Did you write us like a letter of introduction or something?
Well, I don't know if we want to be connected to him, though, if he's already under suspicion and people are sending devils after him. Or demons, sorry, what'd you say?
Atreya will say, "I'm 98% sure there are devils, not demons, but I'm not an expert." Kristan will then say, "Well, I believe it is in the best interest of us all if you do not associate yourselves with me."
I mean, I guess we could try to present ourselves as the heroes of Lux. I mean, we've done some kind of impressive stuff, you know, like taking out dragons and mind flayers and say, we're in the neighborhood. Do you need any help with anything? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, our purpose for being there could be visiting your family. And we
Yeah.
could just be doing them...
But my family isn't close to the governor, so that's not going to get us that much closer to the governor.
True, but we could just say, hey, like, you're right, we're in town, so... And that would be our excuse for being in town.
And when we arrive at the teleportation site, we can see what the fort knows about what's going on there, and maybe you can say, the fort sent us.
Mm.
Kristan
So-
will say, "If I may, your group has built a reputation of a, what's the word, tense relationship with the Kingsmen.
Even in Petra?
Well, word gets around."
Oh boy.
That's not great for us.
Well, we could use that to our advantage to, like, why we didn't go to the Kings and why we went straight to Prefect.
Maybe.
So, Kristan, if we do get face to face with Kyvern, like, I'm trying to figure out a way that we could prove without a doubt that it's an imposter. Is there any piece of information about Kristan or about Kyvern that only the real Kyvern would know, that we could try to see if they react a certain way if we ask a specific question?
But do intellect devourers have the memories of the people that they're, like, inhabiting?
Well, we don't know if it's intellect devourers. I mean, it certainly could, but if devils are involved, I don't know if those two creatures are known to cooperate. They're
Yeah.
certainly from different...
Other kinds of mind
Planes.
control.
Yeah.
I mean, would protection from good and evil maybe solve this? If we just got close enough and cast that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that is a touch spell, so you have
Oh,
to get real close.
I forgot that part.
Griston will say, I'm afraid... Look, I know I don't have any hard evidence, but that is what I would like your group to find.
Okay.
Do you want us to try to fix this, or you just want us to find evidence?
Griston looks at you, Ori, for a moment, and then looks over towards the rest of the party, and he says, well, with your reputation, I assumed that either way, it'd probably end in a fight, but...
Well, I mean, Ash is pretty sneaky.
Not always.
We could try. We could give it a honest effort. I mean, you're not wrong, but,
Look, I know I'm asking a lot. For someone in my position to make such an accusation with no proof, it would be political and social suicide.
Sure.
So you're just fine with your, rival's daughter doing the dirty work. Is that it? To risk the social and political suicide?
Oh.
Or make an intimidation check.
That
This is
escalated
Joe.
quickly.
This is Joe, not Michelmas. But
Oh no! Dang it!
Mari, that's a way to get back at your dad.
Rolled a 2!
Griston gives a stern look towards Ori for a moment, and then says, I learned at a young age that everything comes down to politics. And simply trying to avoid them will not do you any favors, after he looks over towards Mari.
I just had to ask.
Griston, still looking at Mari, will ask, are you aware of what your father has been doing these last few weeks?
I don't think about my father in any capacity ever as much as possible. I have no idea. Is it something I need to know, or could I avoid it?
Avoiding politics will not do you any favors.
Enlighten me then.
Well, it appears that your father has been quite boastful to King Windsor about his daughter being the leader of the best up-and-coming adventurers party here in the kingdom.
That's rich.
Do we have much competition? We haven't run into any yet.
Don't sell us short.
First of all, I just want to say, if Corvus was here, he would say he's the leader.
First of all, Corvus is the brains of the operation.
Second of all, we haven't officially held our elections yet, so that's bold.
And where is your half-orc friend?
Personal business.
He had some business to attend to.
Well, at any rate, your father is improving his own political standing with your group's deeds.
I should have expected nothing less.
I mean, he kind of
doesn't
insinuated
surprise
that
me.
at the end, too.
If I lived my life worried about what my father was doing and how he was benefiting from my actions, I would never be able to leave the house.
Yes, but if I may give you some advice, a little tact can take you a long way.
Didn't tact just make him look better?
Are you I'm sorry, who do I need to be more tactful with?
Trey will pipe up and just say, Lord Levnolan, please...
I think as soon as Atreus started piping up, Mari would jump in and just say, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude. My father is a sore subject. I can't hide that wherever I am. I appreciate your both concern and advice, Lord Livlonen.
Kristan gives you a nod and says, I appreciate everything your group has done for Lux.
Maybe, with our low standing with the Kingsguard, we could get a quick letter of introduction from Sheth on our way over and use that as our kind of in to the King's Guard and potentially the governor there.
That likes us okay.
If my
Your father
assumptions are correct, you might be sought out just by your presence in Petra.
Okay, so maybe we just introduce ourselves around everywhere we go.
I mean, yeah, if your dad's giving us free advertisement, hey.
We'll just say we're with your father.
No.
That'll get
No,
us
we
in
will
anywhere.
not. Do you need to check in on Dash, Ash?
As everyone looks down the floor, Dash is rolled on his back, his tummy up right at Ash's feet, looking up with this very big pleading look, just begging for belly rubs.
I gently use my foot to just give him a little bit of a rub.
A practice move.
Kristan, seeing this, will give a little smile and say, "It appears that one needs a walk."
He always does if it was up to him.
We certainly appreciate your counsel, and we'll do our best to act upon it.
I appreciate it. If there is a problem with the governor, I will owe you a favor.
Thank you.
We appreciate that too.
It's at this point there's a knock on the door, and after Kristan yells, "Come in," everyone sees the halfling maid carrying a very large tray with several cups in a large teapot. She sets it down on a small table and says, Would anyone like some tea?"
It did kind of seem like Lev Nonin was kind of trying to usher us out. Does it seem like he would like us to decline?
I glanced to him to see like what he's looking like.
Kristan will let out a little sigh and say, "I'm afraid our friends are just about to leave, but I will gladly take a cup."
Yes, thank you so much, but we have to be on our way.
Good evening.
And we
Atreya will walk the party out of the manor. As she walks out by the front gate, Trenta is still there, giving the party a very obviously fake smile and nod as the party walks by him.
Ori will give a better fake smile and nod.
Yeah, Mari's not trying to like call him out or anything. Like
Atreya will stop by the entrance to the gate surrounding the manor, and she'll look over towards you, Mari, and say, "Thank you for doing this."
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for kind of the initial warning that something was happening there. It was our plan to head that direction anyways to check in with Ori's family. So this is just fine to tack this on.
Yes, really appreciated. Certainly.
Oh, and a word of warning. The governor's manor, he keeps it pretty well guarded, so this may not be a simple job of just running in, grabbing a paper, and running out.
Oh, we'll have to get a little creative.
Atreya
We've
gives a big
managed.
grin towards you, Mari, and says, "I figured you'd say something like that."
You know me too well.
Atreya will give a big hug towards you, Mari, and then say, "Be safe, okay?"
We will. You take care too.
And with that, Atreya turns around and walks back into the manor. Trenta will let out a sigh and close a gate to the large metal fence surrounding the manor and lock it.
Thanks again, Trenta. We'll be out of your hair for a while.
Wonderful. Have a good trip. Wherever you're going.
Or just walks away. She doesn't say anything else.
Yeah.
When we're on the road on the way back, Michaelmas will turn to Ori and ask, like, when you can like touch others' minds and kind of read them, do you get information about whether they're like the actual minds or like possessed? Like, did you get a chance to test
I mean,
with Corvus and Ash when they were possessed?
I didn't try. Yeah, I haven't. It probably would have been a good idea to try that, but it didn't really occur to me at the time. But, no, I really haven't touched a mine when I knew for sure it wasn't possessed, and then again when I knew for sure it was possessed. So, honestly, like, I can get a bit of a sense, but I don't think it's any easier mind to mind than just hearing someone talk and trying to figure out if they seem off or not. Unless I've already talked to them in their mind before. I don't...
Okay.
But, I mean, I can try. I can try to see if it gives me a different angle, but... I mean, maybe detect thoughts might be better at that? I don't know. And I can cast that silently, too. If I have the energy for it, so...
That might be a better shot.
And they definitely know I'm there if I'm just speaking to someone's mind.
Have we, during the downtime, did any of us notice any people following us? Like, folks from...
Shoot! Oh, that'll be in character. I meant to ask Lavonin if he knew anything about those bracelets.
Well, I'm not sure we can go back now.
Oh, no. It seems like a slim chance anyways. We can ask him when we get back from Petra. Potentially.
Is there anything else the party would like to do before they sleep for the night?
I think Ori would like to talk to Mari, but not when, like, everyone's around.
Okay, so we head up to the room.
Yeah.
Oh, your empty bed in the boys' room.
Oh. Yeah. So, I wanted to say thanks again about my nightmare and stuff.
Of course. Are you feeling any better about any of it today?
I mean, I guess just, being awake and around you all and not so alone in my head helps. Well, never really alone in my head, I guess, but, without, more... Well, with you guys,
Malin will speak in your left ear, Ori, and say, "You beat me by 1 second."
Alone with me and the people in my thoughts is not the best solution, I think, but... I'm sorry if this is kind of a stupid question, but, so... I mean, like, this... Also, that week, spent... kind of partying it up. We didn't quite get what we were looking for, but that was really nice to let loose with you, and just kind of relax and live it up a bit,
I haven't been that relaxed in a long time.
No, me either. And I was,
Just spit it out.
Well, I mean, you and Atreya are really close, right?
Yeah. We certainly aren't as close as we were when we basically lived together under my father's roof, but yeah, there was a time when we knew everything about each other.
Was it ever anything beyond friendship for you two?
No.
Okay. I was... You're really important to me, Mari, and I was wondering if you would ever be open to something more between us. You're so amazing, and like that whole week I was just getting the worst butterflies in my stomach, and I don't want to make it weird or anything, but like I just wanted to know if there was any chance at that being a mutual thing or not.
I think Mari's initial reaction is she's just like there's a second, just a split second of like, complete surprise in her eyes because she just doesn't ever notice things unless it's like really super like blatant. So this is what it would take for her to notice this at all. And so she has that initial moment of like complete, like her eyes just like open really wide, and then I think she walks over to Ori and just takes her hand and she says, Ori, you're really important to me too.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
And I don't think now is the right time,
Okay.
but yes.
Okay. Okay. I mean,
And then she gives her a big hug.
yeah, Ori will give her a big hug too and say, thanks. I'm glad we're gonna get to Petra, you know.
Me too.
Yeah. Okay. Glad I got that off my chest.
She hugs her just really tight.
Oh. Alright.
And then she goes for a walk.
Ori gets ready to go to her trance, kind of in bed.
And then, like, when she thinks enough time has passed, she goes back and goes to bed.
Oh.
After Mari walks out of the room, Riddick will speak in Ori's right ear and say, so that was something.
Well, I guess thanks for refraining from the commentary till after.
Malum will speak in your other ear. You know, there's a lot shorter way of doing that, you know.
Oh yeah? How would you have gone about it?
You see, you just need to find a really clever pickup line, you know? Something like, hey angel, wanna be my angel of protection tonight?
Ugh. I always assumed you two were kinda something, if I'm being honest here.
Rick says, what? No, that'd be way too weird. No, it's totally platonic, the thing, or whatever it is. You know what? Just forget about us. Let's talk about you some more.
I'm going to go to bed, actually. Have a great night, or whatever it is you have out in limbo.
Malum will say, it's a black void. It's always night. And it's in the early morning hours, about an hour after Ori finishes her trance, when she receives a sending message from Emma.
Ooh, Emma.
Hey Ori, it's Emma. I've been having trouble sleeping. Been having nightmares about when I got my powers. Know anything that'll help? I miss you.
Oh.
Miss our daughter.
Yeah, my child. My baby. Alright, so let me think. Okay. Emma. Thanks for sending. Funny enough, I've been having similar nightmares. For me, it's been talking to someone I trust. Feel free to send. Miss you. I wish it was like 5 more words.
In the morning on the 2nd of Sun Peak, the sun does rise up on a clear and sunny day. As the party walks downstairs to the first floor of the inn, they see the tall, muscular Earth Genasi Dune, who's now the new owner of the inn, give everyone a smile and nod and say, oh, are you folks gonna be heading out tonight?
Yeah, we're heading out of town today.
Yeah, we'll be gone for a while. We're not sure how long.
Well, the door will always be open for you, folk.
We appreciate that.
With that, the party heads into Lux to the armory. And as they approach the armory, they see 2 Kingsmen standing guard outside the front entrance. One of them will hold out a hand and say, stop, what's your business?
Honestly, every time.
Dude.
We're here to see Sheth.
Why?
He told us to be here. important Kingsman business.
Ash, make a persuasion check with disadvantage, because you're leaving out quite a lot of details.
You didn't get any
Do I have
details.
any chance of knowing who these guys are by this point? Like, knowing any names?
It's not one of the Jakes or Jacks or Jacobs, is it?
It isn't.
Or Josh?
I'd say you do recognize one of them as one of the front guards, but you don't know his name.
Alright.
But the one you recognize will just roll his eyes and just say, "Wait here."
Thank you.
After a few minutes, he will walk back out with Sheth. And Sheth will say, "Follow me." The party follows Sheth into the armory. And after wandering down a couple hallways and going down a spiral staircase down to a lower level in the armory, and then continuing to wind through some more hallways, the party sees two more guards standing in front of another door. They both give a big salute to Sheth. And Sheth walks in. The party follows Sheth behind, and they enter into another hallway with several doors on each side. The party sees there's a guard standing next to each of the doors. All of them look over and give Sheth a big salute. Sheth will open one of the doors, and as the party looks inside, they see the magical teleportation circle that's been inscribed on the floor of the smaller room. And Sheth will pull his hand out towards it and say, "Step right through."
Ooh, this is fun. I've never done this before. It's kind of
alright.
exciting.
Mario grabs Ori's hand as they walk through.
Yes!
I pick up Dash and I carry him.
Smart.
And at that point, Ori remembers she has done this once before.
What?
The party took a teleportation circle from Lux to Anatoly.
Yeah, to drop it. I'm off.
Oh, right, duh. Sorry. Never
I do a
mind.
double check pat down to make sure that I've got everything secured, and then I'll step on through.
Everyone in the party steps into the teleportation circle, and one by one, everyone sees a quick flash of orange arcane energy before they're standing in a remarkably similar room, and standing in one corner of the room is Alex Princeton Jr. He'll give a smile and a motion with his arms to move out of the circle. He says, "Come on, more people coming through. Don't linger in the circle."
Alex! It's good to see you.
It's
So
good to
were
see
you
you too.
expecting us?
He'll awkwardly lift up both arms for a hug and then think against it and reach out a hand to shake your hand, Mari.
Mari hugs him.
Ori will also give him a hug.
Mari's in a good mood.
Yay!
Alex will say, "Follow me." After winding through some more hallways, the party steps out into the hot sun as the party is now in the southern part of the kingdom, inside a large, square, wooden-walled fort with several towers set up, all of which have several archers set up on posts. The party sees they're stepping out of one of 6 large buildings set up within the fort, and as they look around, they see dozens of Kingsmen practicing drills and running and walking to and fro within the fort. As they're walking, Alex will say, "So, I don't know what you did, but, to be honest, I'm kind of surprised the general would allow y'all to help us with..."
Well, we killed a lot of big bad things for
We
people
sure
in Lux.
have. You know, dragons, mind flayers.
Yeah, and I will say the king seems to appreciate our assistance.
Hey, do you know we met your dad?
Oh yeah, we met your dad.
Alex will let out a really long sigh and say, "Actually, Emma did tell me you met my father."
Uh-oh. He was nice. Why with the sigh? Did we embarrass you?
No, not yet.
And did we meet his mother, or just do we know who she is?
Stepmom, I think. Or we didn't...
We
I don't
kind of
remember
met
if we knew
his
that.
stepmom, and she was mean to Emma, so we don't talk about her.
Yeah, Alex's stepmother was one of the deans to Eastmarch University. You do not know what happened to his mother. But the party continues following Alex towards one of the other buildings, which has 2 Kingsmen wearing very shining and well-kept suits of plate armor. They'll look over towards Alex and give him a nod. Alex will nod back, and the guards will open up the door. As the party walks in, they see it is a war room. There's a large square table set up in the center, and the party currently sees a middle-aged halfling man standing on a stool as he's looking down on the map showing the entire continent. As the party enters in and the door closes behind everyone, the halfling will turn. The party sees his short, very surprisingly well-kept blonde hair for being in such a remote location in the kingdom. He will give a very unimpressed snort, almost, as he looks over the party, then looks over towards Alex. He'll say, I thought you said there were 5 of them. At which point Alex will say, oh, I'm sorry, yeah, I forgot to ask, where's Corvus?
He had some personal business to attend to.
It came up unexpectedly.
The halfling will just roll his eyes and say, yeah, whatever. Are y'all up for this?
Well,
For
we
what?
haven't got much detail, but I'm sure we are.
Alex will say, yes, General, they are definitely up for whatever it is you need them to do. The halfling will say, I'll be the judge of that. Alright, well listen up, my name is General Swiftfoot.
And what can we help you with, General?
For the past few months, we've had several scouting parties get picked off by groups of devils which have been coming out of the wasteland.
Oh, how far are the wastelands from here?
Well, if I go back to the large map of the continent, which you guys can see, I did add more routes to show
Ooh.
the path you guys have taken, with the orange dots being teleportation travel. But the party is here at Fort Silva, right next to the large desert wastelands.
Okay.
The general will say, so I'm gonna put this bluntly to make sure we're all on the same page. I'm going to lead a battalion down south to draw out the attention of their large forces. What I need you to do is to flank them over on the eastern side, while Alex's patrol is going to flank from the west.
When is this operation happening?
Tonight.
All right.
I'll signal to Ori to try and get her to read the guy's mind.
Michaelmas, make a sleight of hand check.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oops.
The halfling
I
will...
maneuver that
Yeah.
into a little prayer sign, like I'm doing a little meditating.
The halfling will just look at Michaelmas with a very enemies look and say, if you want to say something, just speak up.
Was there any particular event that started these devils? Or have they just been kind of happening?
They've just been coming more and more frequently, and they're not just any devils either. They're Abishai.
Oh.
I don't like those.
What makes an Abishai?
Make a religion check, Ori.
I think she's also asking this out loud.
Michaelmas, why don't you make a religion check too?
Ah.
So, well, the party did not know before. The general will say, Abishai are dragon devils.
Oh.
So picture a dragonborn with wings, who's also evil and heartless.
All right. Pretty fearsome.
We didn't get any descriptions from Treya what their devils looked like.
Oh, we didn't. Oops. Oh
If we
well.
have,
I can
we have
message. I can sending her potentially.
yeah, if we have spell slots tonight, maybe do that. Or
Yeah.
Now, since there's apparently only 4 of you, I'm gonna have to find someone to go with you on your attack.
Right?
If you think so.
Well, since that one, as he looks down unamused towards Dash, who's currently running circles around the center table with the map, that one doesn't look like he can stand up in a fight.
He's faced quite a few creatures, and he's done just fine.
Ash, make a persuasion check. The general looks completely unconvinced and just says, right, well, I'm not here for your dog. I'm here to get the job done.
It will get done. We appreciate, we look forward to working with you, certainly, and appreciate the use of your teleportation circle. And are eager to help repay that debt.
Good. You're dismissed. Alex will give a quick salute, then sort of nod towards the rest of the party to exit out of the room.
Or we'll try to give the general a respectful nod and leave quickly.
The party steps back out into the open air on the inside of the fort, and Alex will say, that went a lot better than I thought it would.
Oh, good.
So,
Because you thought we'd mess it up?
well, to be honest, yeah, but also the general likes to run a very tight ship and doesn't like it when the king interferes with some of his plans and security measures, so to speak.
That makes sense.
Because there's not many people who he has to answer to, so like I said, I'm kind of surprised you even got this far.
Mari kind of just shakes her head and mumbles to herself, wait, maybe we do have to be more tactful. Maybe this is an issue for us.
No. So how have you been, Alex? Have you been enjoying, working with your hands out in the wilderness?
Yeah,
A waste.
yeah, I've been enjoying myself. To be honest, there's not as much to do here as you'd expect, because I assume there would be more combat. I trained as a combat medic, but it seems like half the healing and work I do is for a bunch of really stupid non-combat related injuries.
Ah. Hammer to the thumb sort of stuff?
You can say that.
And you've been keeping in contact with Emma on the regular?
Yep.
I'm watching him. what is his reaction?
He says, yeah, before I left for here, I was actually able to throw together a pair of sending stones, so...
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
Wonderful. Yeah, I wish I don't get to send her quite as often as I would like. So I'm glad to hear she's got someone to talk to at least once a day.
Well, I might be able to throw together some sending stones for you if... It'll cost you, though.
How much?
Give the DM 1 second while he looks over the magic item.
Absolutely not.
Crafting.
How dare you not know this stuff just offhand?
A pair of sending stones, it'll take me a couple of weeks, maybe 3 to make. So I don't know how long... So I don't know if you guys are going to be in the region, it might be good to maybe go somewhere and come back.
Yeah, we have other things to do around here. It'll probably take us about that long. If not a little bit longer.
But with the friends and family discount, it'll run you 200 gold.
Alright. I can do that.
Let's do it. You need it up front for supplies or anything?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Or he hands 200 gold. No problem.
Great. So yeah, ideally 2 weeks, maybe more like 3, depending on what happens here tonight.
It's too bad you can't come with us tonight.
Well, you're gonna be leading your own party. That's impressive. Your own troop.
Yeah, well, someone has to keep those lug nuts in order.
It's still impressive considering you haven't been here that long to get that kind of command.
Well, I do appreciate the compliment, although I feel it's more because the general thinks we're expendable.
Well, you're the most impressive of the most expendable.
I wouldn't
Thanks,
call
I
him
guess.
expendable.
Oh,
I mean,
speaking of, as at that point the party sees 4 Kingsmen walking over towards all of them. The party sees a water genasi man with with dark blue skin. Porty sees a human, looks to be around Alex's age with short brown hair. Porty also sees a half-elf with similar brown hair. The Porty also sees a halfling with long white hair. And as all of them walk over towards Alex, the halfling will say, "So, are these your friends, Alex?" Yes. Everyone, this is Jollop, pointing to the halfling. Aranin, pointing to the half-elf. Grant, pointing to the human. And this is Ink, pointing towards the water genasi.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hi. Are you all going to be part of this big old mission to rout out the devils?
Ink will look really confused and ask, "Wait, we're doing what?"
Oh, maybe not?
Shoot.
And Alex will say, good news and bad news, guys. Good news is we don't have to go to Walker's Poker Night tonight. The bad news is we're gonna be the west flanking force for the maneuver tonight. At which point Jollop will ask, we're not joining the flank? We're gonna be the flanking force? Yeah.
Oh, I already like all these guys, and I'm already worried about them.
Grant will say, "Well, I mean, it could be worse." Jollop will say, "What do you mean it could be worse? How could it be worse?" And Grant says, "Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure it could be worse. I mean,
It could be worse. We might not have been out there with you guys on the field. We're
so
pretty
all you
handy to
guys gonna
fight.
be with us too?"
On the other flank.
It's at this point Aranin says, yeah, that's all and good, but, tell me, do you all know anything about that Emma girl who Alex is apparently head over heels for? At which point Alex just let out a long sigh.
What's it
we
to
know
ya?
a little bit about her.
I mean, I can hook you up with the best grub in the joint.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
Come on, you gotta give us some details, 'cause he doesn't tell us anything.
Mm.
she's a great gal. What's more to say?
Come on, what'd she
From
look
her
like?
perspective of her.
How'd they meet? Like, how serious are they two? How serious are those two?
They met because we allowed them to meet. He's perfect in every way. And I don't know, how serious are they? And I look at Alex.
Alex at this point is trying to hold back a blush on his face and will just say, "So how about let's grab something to eat? Mess hall's this way," and he just walks away.
I'll shrug and just follow him.
The party goes in. There's a very sloppy looking pasta dish being served for lunch in the mess hall, which it tastes somewhat better than it looks, but that's still not saying much because it still looks pretty bad.
Definitely lives up to the name of the building.
Yes,
Gloria
but
will try to help with prestidigitation for food.
Thanks, sorry.
yes, but after Ernan sits down, he'll pull out 2 sweet rolls, looking over towards Ori and Mari, saying, "Well, since you two clearly know all the details."
Might be bribable.
She's a half-elf sorcerer. Alex helped her get into school. She's cute.
She just
Sure.
caves.
I elbow Ori a little gently. We're not that bribable. I'm laughing though, like, because there's really no reason to be coy.
Ernan will just say, "Well, that's still 5 times as much as what he's told us." And Alex is just like, you shouldn't kiss and tell, right? Where is the fun in that?
Oh, so she's just a hookup to you?
Alex says, "What? No, that's not what I meant."
Well, if someone's important to you, there's nothing wrong with sharing about them to others.
Well, there are just some things in my private life I like to keep private.
Alright, well, I'll tell you about my ward, Emma, who I helped cross the continent from Beggar's Rock. You know, she spent a good time with our party, you know. Great gal, affinity with fire, sorcerer. Like me, half-elf like Mari. We're basically her adopted family at this point.
Aaron is listening very intently on all of this, and he'll hand over the sweet rolls to you, Ori, and one to you, Mari.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ori will offer half to Mickey or Ash if either of them want some.
I'm fine. I've had worse.
Mickey, you want some?
Yeah, if you're offering, I'll take some.
Ori will split the sweet roll with Mickey.
Ari will turn to see if Corvus wants that, and then go, oh wait.
Oh no!
It's at this point Alex will ask, so you didn't really talk about Corvus and where he's off to? Is that not something you can talk about?
I mean, to be frank, we don't know a lot about it, but he had something come up.
He has an obligation to someone he owes a debt to, as far as I can tell. Someone who needs his help.
That got called in, so.
Saying much more would be speculation, I feel like.
Alex will nod, but then Grant will say, but I mean, if he will never know what you speculate, can it really be that bad?
Wow,
you do a lot
y'all...
of speculating about your friends behind their backs?
No, of course not. I do all my speculating in front of them.
Y'all must
then
be
you,
really bored up here.
Since he can't be in front of us, you see why we're not gonna be talking about this anymore.
Yeah.
Alex will say, yeah, to be honest, there's not a whole lot to do down here when you're not on patrol. At least with Fort Valis, it's mostly in the forest. Here, I mean, the forest is there, but we don't really need to watch the forest. We need to watch the desert, so it defeats the purpose of being next to the forest, you know?
How far are we gonna have to be going to get to this desert and, like, our battle positions or whatever?
I think we probably got another hour or two before we're heading out.
And how far did we go?
You're gonna wanna... I mean, you're probably gonna wanna travel light. But after he says that, he looks up and down Mari at her plate armor and says, although you probably want to keep that on.
Yeah, this is as light as I can go.
Ooh, Alex, check out my sword. Shows off the black and white sides.
He looks at it. He says, that does look cool. Do you do that paint job yourself? You never really... No. Yeah, you don't really picture me as like a black and white.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks cool though. I guess I should name it now that it's like actually kind of a cool sword.
It's at this point all of Alex's companions start listing off the most grotesque and gory names like Death Eater,
Yes!
Deathbringer,
Entrail Devourer.
Hank says, oh yeah, I like that one.
You can have it. So have the four of you been here about as long as Alex then, or longer? Shorter?
Yeah, all got here about the same time. When was it? A month ago? No, it was longer than that. Wasn't it like a month and a half ago?
Oh,
Ari is
Mari.
panicked about these boys going out on their own as a flank, having been there a month. She's trying to keep a cool face, but she doesn't want them to know she's panicked about them, but she is panicked.
Make a deception check, Mari.
This is not gonna go well.
Wow.
Okay. Good. I don't want to scare them.
I do want to see if Ori notices though. Ori notices and like pats your knee.
Oh. Are there only men here? Or male presenting?
Make a perception check.
There we go. That's the roles I'm used to.
Doing a glance around, you do see one female soldier, but the rest of the party, actually turning their heads around, can see, it looks to be maybe a third of the soldiers here are women.
Okay.
It's just in the immediate vicinity of Mari's view, she only sees one. It doesn't bother to turn around to look at more of the mess hall.
Oh, because she would automatically be fuming. About how women don't get the same chances, opportunities.
So are we gonna get some kind of place to rest our heads after this maneuver of ours?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I can probably take you guys over towards one of the bunkhouse is.
Yeah, especially if we're gonna be traveling light. Might want to stow some stuff
we want
too.
somewhere to leave our packs and yeah.
Follow me. Alex will stand up, at which point the party sees Jollop throwing a spoonful of slop over towards Ink. At which point, Ink will jump up and the two will try to wrestle, with Grant and Aaron quickly cheering them on, a few other people looking around, also cheering on the impromptu wrestling match. Alex will just give a little sigh and shake his head and continue walking out to lead the party and says, "Yeah, those are my patrol buddies."
They seem like good kids.
They are.
Ari doesn't say anything because she doesn't want to scare anyone.
Oh.
She can't afford another roll.
Alex will lead the party into one of the bunkhouses. As the party looks, it appears that the three buildings over on the northeastern wall are all bunkhouses where everyone actually sleeps at night. And Alex will lead the party in and say, "Yeah, it looks like down in the corner down the end over there on the left, looks like there's a few spare bunks for y'all to use."
Alrighty.
Cool.
Although, would have advised, probably wouldn't leave anything too valuable.
Oh,
Alright.
So it's at this point, is there anything in particular the party would like to just not bring with them?
I mean, most stuff fits into my bag of holding, so like I'm probably just gonna keep that with me.
I'm just gonna be wearing my winged boots and my armor, bring my shield. I think I'll leave like my extra like I have my extra clothes and.
Guess I do have a staff that I'll leave.
Yeah, I've got like, I'm gonna leave like my fancy suit, my hat, and like all that stuff. And
I'm
You know, I've
gonna
got,
leave.
like,
If
got
you're
like, you know, like a grappling hook and fishing tackle. I've got like all the non-essential stuff.
If you remember right, Ash, you actually gave Gloria your fancy suit to give to Ralph.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I did. I'll remove that from my list.
Ori's gonna leave one of the creepy twig dolls from the Hag's Forest on her staff to guard it from thieves.
There you go.
While doing that, Ori does see a couple random people walking by. Will give a very concerned look over in your direction, Ori.
Yes.
Let's be sure
Fear.
to bring, let's be sure to
Winifred.
bring the immovable rod just in case.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And, like some rope, I guess.
Yeah, I got my rope and my immovable rod.
Bringing extra water and some rations just in case things go weird. Torches. I'll be leaving like my extra chain shirt and shield that I have for some reason.
Ori will place Gertrude, the twig doll, on Mickey's stuff.
Oh, that's right. You named all of them.
I did. I put Winifred on mine. I'll put Mary Sophia on Ash's stuff. And I'll put Penny on Mari's stuff.
Yes. For all of our watchers, the party killed a green hag in the forest just outside of Twig Springs, and Ori decided to take home how many strange
10.
wooden twig dolls?
10.
Dolls. Ari gives the doll like a look. She doesn't like it, but she's not gonna move it because it seems important to Ori.
At the point, you're not supposed to like it.
All right, I think we're ready.
Oh, I do want to leave like 2 copper coins, just kind of like in my pile of stuff, kind of hidden a little bit.
It's like a test.
Yeah,
Ari wouldn't think of that.
just so like if they're gone when we get back, then I know someone went through my stuff.
Such a ranger.
Nice.
Nice. And with that, we're going to take a 5-minute break before the party heads down south into the wastelands.
Oh boy.
Alrighty.
After the Crown Gall finishes putting all of their extra belongings into the bunkhouse, the party sees Alex walk up to them again, and sitting next to him is a short dwarven man who has a slimmer build than most dwarves you've seen. Looks to be at least 10 years older than Alex, maybe in his 30s or early 40s. He has long and scraggly, dirty blonde hair and an equally scraggly beard. He's not wearing the typical Kingsman uniform. Instead, he appears to be just wearing these sandy tan-colored pants and these tan robes over them. He also appears to be not wearing shoes, but instead just sandals. But Alex will tell the party, well, everyone, this is the scout who's going to be joining you. This is Bruden. The dwarf will give a big smile and say, yep, that's me, Bruden Mountainbeard.
Hi, Bruden. Glad to have you with us.
Glad to be here. So, is this gonna be your first time in the Wastelands?
Yep.
Yep.
I think so. Maybe.
With your background, yes, this would also be your first time in the Wastelands, Ash.
Yeah, just wasn't sure if I ever made it down to Fort Silva before.
You have not been down to this fort before, although it is remarkably similar to Fort Vallis. But hearing that, Bruden will say, well, just so you know, there's no water or food or pretty much anything besides sand and a near infinite death-filled wasteland, so bring some extra water, will ya?
Cool. Yes, will do.
Will do.
Do they have like extra wineskins, or how do we?
Yeah, I feel like I only
carry
have the
extra
one.
water?
Bruden will then look over towards Alex and say, I thought you said they were ready for this. And Alex is like, okay, they don't have 2 water skins because they've never been here before. Can you really blame them for that? Well, I mean, I gotta blame somebody, right?
Are you ready for this? And I look down at his shoes or sandals and his pants.
Hey, listen, Ranger guy. You know why you like wearing green? It's because you like to hang out in trees, right? Well, guess what? So you're probably not going to find any trees out there, but you know what you are going to find? A sandy, death-filled desert wasteland. So I'm camouflaging here.
Are there extra water skins we can borrow?
Oh, sure.
Great.
I was just giving him a hard time.
I'm familiar with the instinct.
Bruden and Alex will walk the party out of the bunkhouse towards one of the buildings set up for the actual armory for extra weapons and supplies, and the party is able to grab extra water skins.
Pop both those off. So how long have you been at this fort, Bruden?
Oh, what year is it? 1998. So I've been here, I don't know, at least 50 years.
Okay.
Yep. The more time passes, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
So has there not been a similar devil incursion before then?
I mean, they pop up every now and then, but it's not normally this big or this doesn't normally last this long, you know?
So this is unprecedented in your experience?
Yeah, well, you know, he'll look around to make sure no one's listening in, then lean in and say, no, there's this wild rumor going around that a fracture opened that's been like letting in these devils from another plane. But I mean, that's total hogwash, right? Because I mean, that'd just be ridiculous. We know about that, right?
One would hope.
I mean, doesn't sound that ridiculous to me. Not anymore.
He looks really confused over towards you and says, do you know something I don't know?
I mean, you've closed multiple fractures already.
Make a
This
persuasion
year.
check.
Nat 20.
Bruden will tilt his head as he's listening to you, Ash, and then he'll say, wait, you're serious?
Why would I lie to you?
I don't know, because you're trying to impress me? I don't know.
I don't need to impress you. I'm just telling you, we've seen fractures before and we've dealt with them, so if there's a fracture out there, we'll find a way to close it.
Alright, well, if there is, I'll leave that up to y'all, and you just leave the punching to me, alright?
And I would suggest if you do see a fracture, Don't try to go through it.
I wasn't planning on it, but thanks for the obvious advice, Mr. Ranger, sir. As he suddenly stands at attention and gives you a big, over-exaggerated salute, Ash.
I'll just kind of nonchalantly give him a half salute back.
And with that, Alex, joined by the rest of the members of his patrol, will walk over towards the party and say, "It's time. You know the route, Bruden?" "Yep, know it like the back of my hand." At which point, he quickly looks at the back of his hands and then says, "Got it."
I say to Alex, "Okay, I'm gonna embarrass you now," and then I give him a hug and whisper, "Good luck."
Alex doesn't hug you back for a moment, surprised by it, but then will hug you back and whisper back, "Thanks. You too." And as the two flanking patrols exit out of the southeastern gate, the party sees the large battalion forming in the center. Bruden will say, "Yep, we need to get a head start on everyone else. So let's get a move on, huh?" And with that, the party, led by the curious dwarf Bruden, head down south. They quickly enter into the desert, sandy wastelands. As the party looks out, let's have everyone make a perception check.
Look at us.
Yeah. Ash really slacking with that 19. Jeez.
Come
Yes,
on,
so.
man.
Yeah. As everyone is looking down south, the party does not see anything on the horizon besides just the large wasteland. But Bruden will say, "Yep, not much out here except for the things that are out here like to keep themselves hidden, so be on your toes and keep an eye out for any, I guess any giant purple worms or any dragon devils, huh?"
Okay.
And with that, the party heads down further south into the hot, desolate wastelands. After heading down south for about an hour, Bruden will say, "Let's stop and take a 5-minute break, will ya? Gotta get some water." At which point, Bruden will pull out a water skin from inside his robes, which the party, his robes are somewhat tight on his form. He surprisingly was carrying the water skin inside his robes, which you couldn't really tell from outside. He'll take a quick sip, and he'll say, "So, Mari, was it?
Yeah, that's right.
How do you know Alex?"
We met him a couple months ago.
In Lux. Before he was stationed here. We
Bruden will
worked
just
together a bit.
Yeah, Bruden will nod and say, "Okay," and not ask further, clearly sensing that Mari doesn't want to say more. Then we'll say, "All right, let's get going. Don't get sand in your boots."
Alright.
The party travels for about another hour south, and as they do, the party sees the flat wastelands appear to be not quite as flat, as there are more and more dunes popping up and more ridges. And as the party is heading down further south, Bruden will tell the party to stop and slow down as they're approaching a ridge. And they see there's a second ridge past it. He'll whisper over towards the party, "I don't like this. You want to know why?
What's up?
This seems like the perfect place for an ambush."
Aren't we supposed to be doing the ambushing?
"Well, I mean, the thing is, they don't know we're going to ambush them, hence the ambushing part. So we could be walking into their ambush because they don't know they need to get prepared for our ambush."
Okay.
Cool.
Do they know we're coming? How do you ambush someone if you don't know they're there?
Maybe they're just always ready.
I mean, they keep patrols too.
I'll pull out my shield. It's got the little eye end to watch out for things, and I'll do a spin around everywhere to see if it can help me pick out anything.
Okay, make a perception check. As you're looking around, you think you saw some movement near one side of the ridge down here.
Where exactly were we expecting to engage with them?
We're supposed to head down south for another few miles and cut back west.
I'll point out to other people the thing that I saw and see if they can see anything, and I'll urge people to kind of be quiet and nonchalant.
Got a better idea. Hey, Mickey, can you light the end of my arrow up?
Ooh.
She
With
tried to be.
like a light?
Yeah, like can't you like just make a light on some objects, like a stone? Can you light up my arrow?
Bruden will look
Yep.
very confused over towards Ash and say, "We're in the middle of a desert. I mean, I know the sun is setting, but not really that much shadow out here."
No. I just want to shoot the arrow in the general vicinity of the thing.
Of
You know,
course you do.
Won't that give our location away?
I just want to see what happens.
Okay.
I mean, if there's going to be an ambush, I mean,
True.
Let us be the ones.
there's going to be a fight either way.
Just kick it off on our own terms, I guess.
Okay,
Or
how
we'll hold
expendable
an
is the
Eldritch
dog?
Blast.
Can we just have him, like, walk out there and see what happens?
Could have someone walk out there, but I can shoot an arrow over there just as easily.
Fine, just shoot your arrow.
Or he's gonna hold an Eldritch Blast.
I just want to shoot an arrow off to the side from where Mickey thought he saw something.
The magically
this-
lit arrow does a high arc before landing down into the sand right over here, but after waiting a moment, nothing seems to happen.
Okay.
Okay, what's our move? We got places to be. Let's either fight something or keep moving.
We spring the trap, so why don't we have Mr. Arrow Guy stay up on this ridge and other people walk down so he can fire off arrows from up here.
Deal.
Alright.
I'm gonna go.
How high is that ridge?
The ridge that Ash is on is about 15 feet up. The one across from you down south is about 20 feet up.
Do we want to stay in a group or should we split up? Like, should I go the other side?
Have any of their attacks been kind of like large areas that you've seen or heard of?
Not that I've seen.
Okay,
Well,
then we'll stay
I
together.
wouldn't mind being in your aura then, unless we
Ah.
see proof of other danger.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Bruden looks really confused and will just be like, in her aura?
Oh yes, I always bask in it.
He looks really confused and then looks over towards Mickey and says, "You want to go over towards the other side?"
No. This is where the danger was.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you want to flank it from the other side?
Or you and I will go
I
to the
meant
other
like
side.
everybody. Like, wouldn't you want to sneak around behind it?
I don't
Sure.
think there's any sneaking.
But,
We've been talking out loud this whole time. It knows we're here.
I assume we're whispering.
You shot an arrow.
Shot an arrow at it.
A glowing arrow.
All right, Mari's done. She's just gonna start marching up.
I'm following Mari.
I'll see how big is your radius? 10 feet or 15?
10, right?
10.
Oh,
Yep.
hang on one second. You should be able to see the aura now.
Yep.
There we go.
I would say like stay a bit as far apart as we can, because while staying within the aura.
Or he's still gonna hold an Eldritch Blast.
Alright, so after the party gets to right there, we need everyone to roll for initiative.
Do.
Okay.
Thank goodness. That was an awfully high roll for me.
Yeah, Ash.
I was a little worried.
Freaking Rangers, +9.
Well, that's just because of the alert feat. Like I get +5
uh-huh.
from that or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you could take the alert feat too and get a +5.
Absolutely not.
Hey, you can't be surprised either. So
Pretty good.
It feels like it would make life boring.
So as everyone except for Ash moves forward, they suddenly see running out from the side of the ridge an 8-foot-tall dragon humanoid with 2 large wings and a long tail. And as he runs forward, a large sword magically forms in one of his hands. So Ash, what do you do?
Oh, I'm gonna guess Hunter's Mark doesn't reach out that far. Oh, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I will bonus action cast Hunter's Mark on the dragonoid creature. And then I will try to shoot it with my longbow. 20 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay, gets Hunter's Mark for an extra 4. And then I will try to hit it again. 17 to hit.
That will also hit.
Okay. An extra 6 damage from Hunter's Mark and Colossus.
Nice.
And that'll be it for me.
Right after the 2 arrows whiz by and the dragon creature lets out a loud yell of pain, the party suddenly sees Bruden sprint up with surprising speed for Dwarf, and after he runs up, he's gonna throw 2 punches, jumping up, with both punches hitting the Dragon Devil right in the jaw.
Ari's definitely impressed.
Yeah, monks.
Or just a competent Kingsman.
Not something we're used to.
The character sheet was wrong. It should be a d6 plus dex, not just 6 plus dex.
Ah. I mean, he could just roll max damage every time. That's cool.
I gotta keep it fair. Unless you want the enemies to do max damage all the time, too.
No.
That could be arranged.
No.
Absolutely not. We're good. Yes.
Second strike will deal 7 points of bludgeoning damage. And as the Dragon Devil is leaning down, still screaming in pain with a broken jaw, Bruden will give a kick to one of the knees of the creature, which will hit for another 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Wow. Hey, Bruden, I see you.
And with the devil already looking bloody, we now go to Ori.
Oh, already bloodied? Maybe I will just cast Eldritch Blast then. Both beams at him. Does 14 hit?
14 does not hit. Well, while the blast does hit the dragon, its natural scaly armor prevented it from dealing any damage.
Dang it. Yes.
Rude.
That one will hit, though, as the second one goes right into its open, screaming mouth for 12 points of force damage.
That's all. Well, I'm gonna move forward a little bit. And then that's all for Ori.
With that, we now go to Mickey.
Yep, I will step back 1, and this should be 3 feet. And yeah. And so I, as a bonus action, because it's an enchantment, I'll cast Bless at 2nd level and hit all of us. And I'll tell Ash to make a pincushion out of the guy. And you can take an
Yeah.
extra shot.
Yep, will do.
Oh.
Nope.
Oof.
Will
Will not
Unfortunately,
do.
even the blessing from Michaelmas was not able to help Ash prevent from getting off balance from Dash accidentally running into Ash. As Dash seemed to be oblivious to a fight going on right now.
And then
Such a
I'll
cutie.
move up to there, and I'll call down the Sacred Flames. This evil, evil spirit.
Ooh, max damage. Yes.
Yes.
The Dragon Devil lets out one final scream of pain as the radiant flames cover his entire body and he falls over dead.
Woohoo!
Well, I guess you don't need me. Ari's so proud.
Mari, what would you like to do?
Uh-oh.
Can I divine sense to see if there's more?
Yes, you can if you'd like. I believe that's an action.
I feel like, is that a good, I mean, we
It
gotta
is
know if
good. I
it's
think
there.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna divine sense.
What's the range on it?
60.
60 feet?
You do not sense any dragon or any. You do not sense anything through divine sense in a 60-foot radius around you.
Okay. I'm gonna stay where I am and no bonus action and see what pops up.
after that divine sense, you do not sense anything at first, but you suddenly sense something up above you as it appears. Another one of these white Abishai flies up and will dash to fly over towards the other ridge and land right next to Ash and Dash.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
And as it does, it bares its teeth towards you, Ash, as it holds out a hand, and just like the previous one, a magically formed longsword forms in its hand. So, Ash, it is now your turn again.
So, at the end of his turn, I want to use my skirmisher ability, and as a reaction, I want to move 15 feet away. I'm going to move back there.
Nice.
And they don't get an opportunity attack. So then I will bonus action move Hunter's Mark to him. Then I'm going to attack with my bow. 18 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay, and then I get Hunter's Mark for 2, and then I will attack again. And that will miss.
Dang.
Unfortunately, Dash barking at it threw off your second attack.
And that will be it for my turn.
So, Bruden, seeing the other devil running back towards Ash and Dash, is going to use his movement, action, and bonus action to dash. And run up right in front of the Dragon Devil with intense speed, leaving a cloud of dust in his sandals behind as he sprints back up towards the northern ridge. And with that, we now go to Ori again.
Alright, Ori's gonna move forward. And she's gonna cast Eldritch Blast again. Dang it!
Unfortunately, Ori wasn't able to get a great angle on her first or second Eldritch Blasts.
Quicken. Do I want to do it? I kind of want to do it. Quicken cast. Maximilian's Earthen Grasp.
It's a strength save.
Yep. Hang it!
Unfortunately,
What silvery barbs? Dang it!
even with the silvery barbs, this Dragon Devil still appears to be pretty hardy and is able to resist her Earthen Grasp.
I'm gonna give advantage to. Mari's
Well, how high is the ridge? Like,
15 feet, I think he said. On this
Yes,
side.
that ridge is 15 feet up.
and my boots don't give me extra movement, right? It's just I can fly instead of walk.
Basically, yeah, with 30 feet of movement speed, correct.
I'm gonna give the advantage to Ash then.
Cool.
That'll be all.
Now I'll go back to Michaelmas.
Alrighty. 30. Oh, yeah. And I'll call down then the flames again. Sacred flames.
Nice.
Seeing how easy the Abishai was able to avoid the Earthen Grasp, Michaelmas goes for an attack that will require it to be fast, and it is too slow to avoid these falling radiant flames, just like its now dead companion.
And I don't have a good bonus action for this turn, so I'll be done.
Okay, Mari.
Okay, I'm gonna Misty Step to 5 feet up the ridge, and I'm gonna fly over the rest of the ridge
Should have given you advantage.
to get here and attack.
Get it.
Nice.
20 to hit for 9.
That will hit.
Divine Smite.
Okay, it is a fiend, because it is a devil.
Know.
Yes.
I know it is. So my smite at the second level for another 23.
Nice.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna try and hit it again. 15 to hit.
You're blessed.
Plus 1d4.
19 to hit.
That will hit.
For 8. I'm gonna Divine Smite again, but only at a first level. For another 9. And that is my turn.
Nice.
The Abishai was shocked by the speed of Bruden running up and being distracted by these spells affecting it. It was completely unable to avoid the 2 Divine Smites from Mari. However, because of those Divine Smites, it is going to snarl at you, Mari, and make 3 reckless attacks at you.
Get on, come on.
Oof.
Ooh.
First with its bite, which will hit for 11 piercing damage and 7 cold damage. After it bites into your shoulder, it's going to rake against your stomach for 4 points of slashing damage. And after releasing you, it's going to make another swing with its longsword, which you are able to deflect with your shield, but you still got hit twice. But after those attacks, it is now Ash's turn.
Okay. I am going to do a sharpshooter attack this time at it. Oops. Oh, yeah, that's right. So 23 to hit.
That will hit.
18 plus Hunter's Mark plus Colossus Slayer plus Sneak Attack
Oh my gosh.
for 10
Yeah!
damage.
How would Ash like to do this?
As the creature is just wailing away at Mari, like as he's swinging the sword, I just let go of the arrow and it goes right into its eyeball and into its skull to put him down.
The Abishai is not able to turn its head in time, but its eye does turn before the arrow pierces right into its pupil, and it falls down the side of the ridge, dead.
Yeah!
And with that, the wastelands fall silent.
I will keep my eye on the sky for any additional flying things. And I'll come check out the body down south here.
Okay, make an investigation check.
I don't think I've ever rolled well on an investigation.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
you don't find anything on it. In fact, the swords that magically appeared in their hands appear to have disappeared once the devils were killed.
Interesting.
I'll take a look at the other one.
Unfortunately for Ash, he also does not find anything on that devil either.
Not surprising.
I keep the bless up as long as it'll last, but it only lasts a minute, so probably gonna go away pretty soon.
Bruden will look among everyone and say, "Well, y'all are handy in a fight. I gotta give you that."
I mean, speak for
You're
yourself.
not so bad yourself.
I mean, you're the one that used your hands.
Very impressive.
But I'm Jake.
You'll look confused for a moment and then smile and say, "Ah, I get it, because I punch people."
Yes.
Delightful.
And more importantly, demons.
Demons? Where? As
Or
he looks
devils.
around.
Sorry, devils. More importantly, devils, not just people.
Alright, so now that we got our daily exercise in, let's get in some more, why don't we? And continue on.
Yep.
Alright, he stops for a moment, then looks at Michaelmas and Mari and he asks, "Is it possible for y'all to be kinda quiet in that stuff, or no?"
Not really.
I mean, I can help a little bit.
Kinda.
Yeah. I'll go ahead. I'll just cast Pass Without Trace on everyone, as long as we're within an hour of where we're gonna be. If it's gonna be more than an hour, I don't want to cast it just yet.
In that case, why don't you wait like 15 or 20 minutes and then cast it?
Alright,
Perfect.
sounds good.
The party follows Bruden. After about 15 or 20 minutes, he'll give a nod over towards Ash. With Ash casting Pass Without Trace, let's have everyone make a stealth check.
Okay.
Can't wait. 13.
36.
32.
Poof.
Another
Well, that's
13.
While the stealth of Mari and Michaelmas is definitely not great, it is helped a little bit from the Pass Without Trace. But after Bruden leads the party cutting over towards the west, following the sunsets, after about half an hour, He will motion towards the party to slow down even more. As the party comes across a dune, the party can see a red light forming on the other side and slowly creeping up the dune and looking over the edge. The party sees 5 tattered, sand-colored tents, almost camouflaged and hidden within the dune, but most disturbingly, the party sees the source of the red light, a large, red-colored fracture that looks almost like a stationary lightning bolt that is lighting up the small valley between the dunes.
Oh, wow.
I whisper to Bruden and say, I told you there were fractures.
Mickey, do you think you can dispel that?
The range of Dispel Magic is 120 feet, so I should. I'm now cast it at 4th level.
It's our presence, and do we care? It's probably more important to close it than it is to stay quiet still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not having any more devils come out is
yeah.
probably a better thing than not closing it.
Michaelmas casts a spell magic, and the party sees the fracture suddenly grow in size for a second before it quickly shrinks and implodes into nothing. But right after that, everyone notices movement into the tents, and they see through the tears in the fabric black dragon scales. So,
Ooh,
everyone needs to roll for initiative again.
super fun.
Oh boy.
It would have been more fun had they actually rolled decently on their stealth checks.
Mm-hmm.
This is as fun as I want it to be, Jacob.
Oh, I see. You only want a certain amount of fun in your D&D games, not too much fun?
Yeah. I can't take too much more.
So the devil in the far tent is going to fly up 40 feet. He's going to point a finger towards the party.
Oh no.
Shoot, I'm close, but I'm not close enough. I'm close enough
Oh,
to be in the
no.
AoE, but
Oh no.
Oh no.
Just move up quick, Jacob.
Hang on, I need to double check radius.
See, I told you. Mari steps back 5 feet in fear.
Oh,
The party sees the dragon point a finger towards the party, and suddenly a sphere of darkness forms all around them.
Ha! Ha!
It's at this point Ori hears the jingle of jester hats in her ears as Riddick and Malum laugh in their head and say, ha 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 ha, they have no idea who they're dealing with.
No, they don't.
And with that is now Ash's turn.
So I can't see where I'm going, right?
You can still walk out, can't you? Or no?
Yeah, I assume so. So yeah, I'm just gonna walk forward. 30 feet straight forward, since I know there wasn't anyone in front of me. And then I will bonus action cast Hunter's Mark again on the orange one, because that's the one that pointed at us. So I point back at him and cast Hunter's Mark, and then I will try to shoot him with my longbow. 21 to hit,
That will hit.
for 18 total. And then I will shoot it again.
Yeah!
Alright. And I get Hunter's Mark and Colossus Slayer. For 18 more damage. Plus the 17, so 35 total.
Whoa.
sweet.
He needs to make a couple of concentration checks. And thanks to the crit, the sphere of darkness suddenly falls, and the party does not see Ash.
I mean, I saw him walk out of
Oh
the
yeah,
dark.
Ori with her Eldritch Invocation Devil Sight was able to see Ash walk over towards the other side of the dune, but to everyone else, Ash just disappeared.
Was this was this a cliff? And how deep was it? Is there...
It's a sand dune. It's about 12 feet up.
All right. And that'll be it for me.
And with that is now Mari's turn.
Okay. So I can't see over it, I imagine. Can I Misty Step in the air? Yeah, why not?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so I'm gonna climb up the, like, 5, 10, and then go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So that's as far as I can imagine I can get with my speed. Oh, I'm gonna say I flew that.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna Misty Step. Just as close as I can get to the green one. 'Cause he's the one that's in the air, correct?
No, it's the orange one that's in the air. This one is in the air.
Oh, perfect. Okay, then I'm just gonna Misty Step in front of him. And try and hit him. 20 to hit?
That one will hit.
Perfect. I'm gonna Divine Smite. First level. So that's 28 so far, and then I'm gonna try and hit him again. 21 to hit.
That hits again.
I'm gonna Divine Smite again. I have to do it at first level because I'm out of spell slots. Second level. That's another 19 total.
Even before the second devil was able to get out of its tent for its surprise attack, it suddenly realized it did not have the element of surprise anymore, as it lets out 2 screams from the divine smites of Mari. After those attacks, we now go to Michaelmas.
Alrighty. I'll move 30 to here. I'll again second level bless on the whole party. And
Thank you kindly.
tell Mari that she's right there. She can take care of him.
Thank you. 14.
Unfortunately, 14 just misses, as your sword wasn't able to cut through its thick dragon scales.
Sorry I let you down.
And since that's an enchantment, I'll drop Sacred Flame on green.
Unlike the white Abishai, these ones appear to be more dexterous and is able to avoid irradiant flames.
So that's my action, bonus action, and move, so I'm done.
That devil in front of Mari did not like those divine smites, so it is going to make 3 attacks at you. Mari, first with its bite. It's going to bite down into your shoulder that was bit down by the previous devil for 10 piercing damage and 14 acid damage.
How are you doing, Mari?
I'm bloodied. Just now.
And as it sinks its teeth in acid into your shoulder, a scimitar magically forms in one of its hands. It's going to make 2 scimitar attacks at you.
Yes. This.
Okay.
Fortunately for you, you're able to use your shield to push it off of you and avoid the strikes from the scimitar. With that is now Bruden's turn. He's going to move up, but instead of moving right next to you, Mari, everyone sees Bruden hold up his fists, and this strange radiant energy forms around his hands. As he throws a punch in the air, the party sees a radiant energy shoot out towards the devil right in front of Mari. I forgot to add his dex mod to that. We will fire a second attack. Unfortunately, you did not bless Bruden, correct?
Nope, not him.
Yes, unfortunately, the second Radiant Sunbolt goes high, although it does burn another hole into the tent. But with that is now Ori's turn.
Alright, Ori's gonna walk over this ridge. I guess gonna hex green for my bonus action. And then cast Eldritch Blast on green. Ah! Would a 14 hit?
No, its AC is 15, unfortunately.
Dang it. Okay.
There
The
we
second
go.
Eldritch Blast will hit, though. So after the first Eldritch Blast pumps another hole into the tent, shredding it open, the second one will hit the devil for 15 points of damage.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Any more movement, or is that your turn?
That'll be all.
After that, the Abishai in the air does not have his darkness ability up, so instead he's going to dash and fly down. Actually,
Don't like the sound of that last actually.
Yeah. Very ominous.
he's actually just going to dash and try to fly away. He's not going to try to stay and help protect his friend, as he looks like he's probably a goner, so he's just going to save himself and start flying away.
Coward!
Corvus would sure have fun chasing you down.
So if he is within 90 feet, I would have a chance of getting him.
So he is supposed to be another 3 feet off the edge, another 15 feet off the edge of the map right now.
Okay, so I couldn't get him.
But it's still Ash's turn, and since he is in the air, Ash does have a line of sight on him. So he would be 140 feet away from you.
Okay, I'm just gonna try to hit it with my longbow.
At least injure him.
16 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay, and then I get Hunter's Mark and Colossus Slayer for another 6. And then I'll take my second attack.
Less.
Yep. 18 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
And then Hunter's Mark for 12.
After those 2 strikes, the devil learned too late that you shouldn't try to outrun a ranger sharpshooter, as the party sees the devil's body fall down onto the ground, a giant dust cloud, or sand cloud.
Nice.
Alright, well then in that case, I will go ahead and just move a little bit over here to get a different angle on the other one. And then I'll use my bonus action to move Hunter's Mark to it, even though I'm guessing it won't be around for much longer. And that'll be my turn.
Okay, Mari.
I'm gonna bonus action harness divine power to get a second level spell slot back. I'm gonna do that first in case I hit this guy real good. And then I'm gonna try and hit him. 20 to hit for 11.
That will hit.
The divine smite. At a first level, I'm gonna save that second level. So that's 20 for that hit. Total.
How would Mari like to do this?
I want to chop his head off.
Mari pulls her best Corvus impression, missing the half-orc with a yell, uses her divinely lit longsword to cut off the head of that devil. And with that, the camp falls silent.
Wow.
Oofda.
Do these tents look like they're housed one each or more than one? Because there's 5 we took care of, 2 before and 2 here, but there's still 1 left.
Make an investigation check, Michaelmas.
Because I am so good at those.
Oh, boy.
You're having a hard time believing anyone would want to try to sleep underneath these terribly torn and holed up tents.
I'm gonna lay on hands myself for 15.
I want to go check out the body of the one that was trying to run away.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Oof.
Okay, but let's be quick because we're supposed to meet up. I don't want to leave the boys hanging.
And that one apparently didn't have anything on it either.
Yeah, just seeing if it had anything because it was trying to get away, if it was just saving itself or trying to protect something that it had.
And unfortunately, it appeared it was just trying to save its own life and failed.
Go back to brooding. What's next, boss?
I will do a 3rd level cure wounds on Mari.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm feeling great now.
Was anybody else hurt? I lost track.
Haven't been touched.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm really glad I upped my con with the last Level.
Yeah.
Especially with Corvus not here.
Bruden will
Right,
say,
we-
well, I guess we found their base of operations. Seeing Michaelmas look around the tents, Bruden will say, yeah, my guess is they probably had a big fortification set up just inside the portals. They wouldn't have to live out in the middle of the wastelands, you know? I mean,
it is a sandy, death-filled desert wasteland. So
Yeah.
you are right there.
yeah. I feel like there's a joke somewhere in here about how, like, oh, it's almost as bad as hell, but I guess to a devil it's not as bad? I don't know.
Probably a vacation.
We'll kick down the tents in case there was somebody left. They'll at least have to reset up their camp.
It appears that all the tents are empty, save for some very poorly made cots.
Well, I'm glad we got that dispelled before we engaged them, at least. Whew.
So, do we know where the rest of the army is?
Well, it looks like the general's plan to send a large enforcement straight south to sort of draw them out. I'm guessing that worked, and that's where most of the rest of them are. Probably just left back a few stragglers just in case. I don't know.
Okay. Well, are we doing like a pincher movement with the other flanking group, or like what's?
Yeah, the plan was to meet Alex's group here, wherever their base was, so they probably got caught up somewhere, so...
Okay, we're gonna go that way.
Should I try messaging him, do you think, to see if he can tell us where he is?
Yes.
I mean, if you can, sure.
Yeah. Alright, Ori's gonna cast Sending. We found the fracture, closed it, can meet up with you. Can you tell us where you are? Hope all
They
is well.
fly.
What?
They fly. Do you have room to put
Oh.
that in there? Wording?
I have the word. They fly.
After a moment, Ori will hear the reply. We just turned east. If you found a fracture, we're probably not too... Wait. Take cover!
Ah!
Okay, they're under attack. They just turned east. So, if you're familiar with the planned route for them, Bruden,
Get us there.
can you get us to where they would have turned east?
Yeah, follow me and try to keep up, alright?
All right.
Yeah, with a monk, right?
I can't move at your maximum speed, but I'll do my best.
The party tries their best to keep up with Bruden, although it does have to stop and encourage people. At one point, he will pick up Dash to make sure Dash doesn't fall behind. As the party sprints west, trying to find Alex, they do eventually see the source of the attack. As they run up onto the top of the ridge, the party sees a young blue dragon
Oh,
flying
jeez.
and circling around Alex, who is wounded down on the ground. The party sees the large dragon laying down right next to him. After Alex reaches over to grab a sword from one of his fallen companions and turns to swing, the dragon only grins and takes a bite down onto Alex's arm.
How far away are we? Because I have banishment that goes 60 feet.
You're 75.
Ah.
No.
As Alex rolls on the ground in pain, holding what's left of his arm, the dragon spits out the sword and grins down at Alex before its head curiously turns back towards the Crown Gall.
Ah!
So, let's have everyone roll for initiative again.
They're all dead.
You knew it. My boys.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. What do I do?
Nobody saw that coming.
As the Crown Gall appear to have at least gotten some attention from the dragon, it is Ash who is first to react.
Okay, how high up is this kind of ridge?
The ridge you are on right now is about 20 feet up.
Can we walk down it?
You can walk down it, yes.
Okay, so just gonna move 30 feet over here. And then I will bonus action cast Hunter's Mark on the dragon, and I'm going to try to hit it with my longbow. 20 to hit
20 will hit.
for 17 damage, and then I will try to hit it again, but this time I'm going to try to sharpshooter it. 23 to hit.
That will hit again.
Okay, that will hit Hunter's Mark and Colossus Slayer for an extra 11, so that's 32 on the second attack.
Nice.
The party definitely has the dragon's attention now, as it lets out an annoyed grunt from the arrows that pierce its side. It turns its head down towards Ash.
I'd like to think that I'm just screaming at it to get its attention too, just like, ah! To keep it away from Alex as best I can.
With Ash screaming his lungs out is Michaelmas, who's able to act next.
I'll cast slow at it. Need a wisdom save.
Sorry, wisdom save.
Oh.
As a success. So as the slowing effect hits the dragon, it's able to shrug it off and bare its sharp teeth over towards you, Michaelmas.
Then I'll head down the cliff. What's that have to do with movement?
Going down, no extra movement. Running up, though, would be extra movement.
Oh, okay. Then I will...
Please don't get within 20 feet of it.
Yeah.
No particular reason.
How else am I supposed to hit it?
Well, you can go, because Mickey goes before me, but you can go within 20 feet of it.
15, 20,
Because I go before you.
25, 30. And then for my bonus action, I'll turn one of my channel divinities into a second level spell slot.
With that is now Ori's turn.
Time for a more traditional Ori turn. 1, 2, 3. She'll go here. I think that puts me in range. Yeah. Alright, so first she's gonna cast Mind Sliver on it. Yes!
It fails its int save as it shakes its head in pain from the psychic damage of your Mind Sliver.
Alright, and then I'm going to quickened cast Fireball on it, funnily enough. Minus 1d4 to that dex save. No, it'll succeed, dang it. No matter what.
Even being hindered from the Mind Sliver, it's still able to avoid the brunt of the fireball.
If I silvery barbs it, will it still take the minus 1d4 from the silvery barbs roll?
That's a good question. I'll say it will re-roll the d20 roll, but not the d4. So it got a -2 on the d4. So do with that what you will.
Silvery barbs. Yes!
The silvery barbs worked as it lets out a loud yell of pain. Once again, it gets hit by the fireball for the full damage.
Mari, can you get to the dragon on your next turn?
So I could no. I mean, if I dash, I can get there and not hit it.
Right. I'm gonna give the advantage to Bruden then, I think.
Alex, seeing the party has dragon distracted, is going to disengage and try to slowly crawl away from the dragon and the incoming fireballs. And with that is now Mari's turn.
Okay, so with my regular movement, I can get here, climbing, rolling down 5 more feet. Then I 20, 25, 30. And then I can get up to here with dashing. And then I'm gonna bonus action use my second divine power to get another spell slot back. So I have 2 spell slots. And that is my turn.
Okay, Bruden is going to use Step of the Wind to dash with a bonus action. After he runs right up towards the dragon, he's going to punch it twice. Right in the legs. The dragon looks very unimpressed at first, but we'll see what happens with his unarmed strikes.
Advantage on the first one.
First one will hit for 6 points of bludgeoning damage. The second one, unfortunately, just misses.
Dang.
While his fist did hit the large dragon and not appear to do any damage. With that, the dragon looks more annoyed than anything down at Bruden. And so because of that, the dragon is going to fly up, which will provoke an opportunity attack from the monk. Opportunity attack will miss, however.
Dang.
But the dragon is going to fly up. It is going to fly up and avoid Mari's reach to fly over here. After it lands right next to Michaelmas, its mouth opens up, and the party sees a 5-foot line of lightning exhale out of its mouth, which will hit Michaelmas, Ori, and Ash.
Aw, beans.
Don't like it.
Is that a save?
Yes, so I need dex saves from all three of you.
Holy smokes!
Oh no.
Oh, thank you.
What's the oh, okay.
16.
Oh, so that's 25 damage.
Yeah, so while Ori and Ash take 25 damage, Michaelmas takes 51.
Oh, Mickey! Are you up?
By a thread.
Ah!
I'm coming.
And with
And
Mickey...
I don't have Hunter's Mark.
With Mickey barely standing and Ash losing his hunter's mark, it is the ranger's turn right now.
Okay. Well.
So the
Yeah.
dragon landed, right? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, the dragon did land to hit all three of you with its breath weapon.
Alright, well, I'm going to use my last first level slot to cast Hunter's Mark on it again. I'm going to sidestep a little bit here to get out of a straight line as much as I can, and then I'm going to try to hit it with my longbow. And that misses.
Oh.
Oh.
Unfortunately, Ash is still reeling a little bit from the effects of that lightning breath.
So I'll try again.
That one will
20 to
hit.
And then yes, Colossus Slayer, and then sneak attack because Mickey's within 5 feet.
Yep.
For 12 more damage, so 25 total.
Nice.
The dragon scoffed at your first arrow, which fell down the sand right in front of it. The second arrow, however, hit it right in its chest as it boasted and lets out another grunt of pain. Its eyes are still on you, Ash.
And that's my turn.
All right, Michaelmas, you are face to face with a dragon.
Oh, Mickey.
Yeah, that's
Disengage and get out of there.
So I'll try slow another time on it.
Oh, Mickey.
Just get out.
The dragon just saves against your slowing spell once again.
Run away.
Should I silvery barbs it? Oh, I don't have a lot of spell slots left. I'm not gonna.
You have to wait till the start of your next turn, since it was already your turn when you last used the silvery barbs.
Oh, I thought you got your reaction back at the end of your turn.
It's
Sorry.
at the start of your turn, unfortunately.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
And then okay. I'll yell dastardly things at it. Saying, you know,
Disparage its mother.
Insinuate it as poor hygiene.
yeah.
Tell him his hair looks stupid.
With
Tell him he's got
Michaelmas, yeah.
kick me sign at the back of his head.
With Michaelmas throwing out his best playground insults, it is now Ori's turn.
Alright, Ori's gonna scoot over here. And as a bonus action, she's gonna do a curse, Hexblade's curse on this friend. And then Eldritch Blast. Oh, it's almost a crit. Dang.
That will still hit.
It will still, great. And then it also takes damage equal to my proficiency modifier, so that's actually 9 damage. And then the second beam.
That hits
hit?
again.
Yes. So 11 damage.
Beautiful.
Any more movement, or is that your turn?
That will be all.
Alex is going to cast a healing spell on himself, and with that is now Mari's turn.
Smart boy. Run up here. And I'm gonna Misty Step the rest of the way and use one of my 2 remaining spell slots so I can get up there and hit it.
Yeah.
Not hit it. Let's try it again.
First attack will
26.
miss, unfortunately. As you're seeing Michaelmas so injured right in front of the dragon does throw off your first strike, but with your second one, you're able to use the same momentum for the miss and swing your sword up right in this chest of the dragon, which will hit.
For another 16 for that last Divine Smite.
Nice.
26 total. And that is my turn.
It's now Bruden's turn. Bruden is going to use another key point to Step of the Wind to dash and get behind it, flanking with Mari and Michaelmas. After doing so, he's going to make 2 more unarmed strikes against the dragon.
Nice.
There we go.
First one will hit for 9 points of bludgeoning damage. Second one unfortunately misses as Bruden has to duck to avoid the swinging tail of the dragon as he tries to fend off the pesky dwarf behind him, but he still was able to get in 1 hit.
I think he tripped on a sandal.
Actually, it appears that Bruden's sandals fell off again, so he's not actually wearing them.
No.
The dragon, unfortunately, does not have its breath weapon back.
Oh.
Darn it.
So instead, it's going to look down towards Michaelmas and make a bite attack.
Oh, hit me, I'm right here. Sentinel, Sentinel!
Oh boy.
So Mickey does take 25 points of piercing damage.
I'm out.
Sentinel, Sentinel.
But Mari does get her sentinel reaction.
Nice.
12.
That will hit.
I'm out of spell slots, so I can only do the 12.
Hey, it's great.
And then hopefully if it has other attacks, me hitting it distracts it from Mickey.
Hopefully.
And he decides to hit me instead. Because I'm still up and hitting him. Look at how I'm hitting.
It
So
does,
dangerous.
but you also use your reaction, though, so you can't get an opportunity attack against
Well,
it.
that's okay.
But Bruden does, right?
Bruden does, though, so Bruden will attack with an unarmed strike,
Dang.
which will miss. So instead, the dragon will fly up right above Ori.
Oh, come on.
Ah.
Is it, like, within melee range of me, then?
Let me double check the range on its claw. I think it's only 5 feet, yes.
Oh.
So it is flying in the air right above you, and it's going to make 2 claw attacks against you.
Jeez. Okay.
I got nothing.
The first one hits for 12 points of slashing damage. The second one will miss.
Ha ha ha.
With the dragon going after the party sorcerer, is now the party's ranger's turn. Ash.
Okay, I am going to try to hit it with my longbow. 14, I don't think hits.
14 will miss.
So then I'll try it again. 23 to hit.
That will hit.
And I get Hunter's Mark, Colossus Slayer, is it on the ground? Or within 5 feet?
It is within melee range of Ori, yes.
Yep, okay, so then I get Sneak Attack. So 24 damage.
How would Ash like to do this?
Woohoo!
Goodness.
Oh, nice.
As I see this dragon just taking out Michaelmas and about ready to try to take out Ori, I just shoot the arrow right down its throat and drop it from there.
Oh boy. Drop it right on top of Ori.
Well,
Yes,
yeah.
with the arrow hitting the dragon's throat, lets out one final pain scream before Ori needs to make a dexterity saving throw to avoid
no.
the dragon falling on top of her. Fortunately for her, she is able to move out of the way and avoid being crushed by the dragon's body.
And I regain 7 hit points.
Alright, I lay on hands Mickey for 15.
Thank you.
Before you do that, Mickey does get 1 death save, so if you roll a nat 20, you could get 1 extra hit point.
Yeah, I got that.
So no extra hit points, but with the lay on hands from Ori, you are up and no longer unconscious.
And then I run over to Ori.
Yeah. I want to cast Healing Spirit with my last spell slot on our friend Alex over there, so he can get 4d6 of healing, so he can have 15 hit points.
I hands Ori for 10 with a big fat kiss on the mouth.
Ori swoons. Thanks.
Are you okay?
Yeah, how about you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
That thing almost crushed me, but I totally got out of the way. It's kind of cool, actually.
You did. It was a great duck and roll.
Thanks. But
Okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna go check on Alex.
yeah, let's do that.
Alex, are you okay?
Oh, the boys.
As
boys all-
Alex is quickly wrapping a bandage with a scrap of cloth around. On his right arm, he only has his upper arm left, but he just shakes his head as he looks around, and tears start falling down
Oh,
his cheeks as he looks upon his dead companions.
I hug him, crying.
yeah. Ori's gonna put a hand on his shoulder, but kind of mindful of his injuries.
Is there anything we can do for his arm? Is there anything we don't have for we can't do anything for his friends? But can we do something for his arm?
I mean, I don't think...
Can you grow an arm? Mickey, can you grow an arm?
I do not have that capability.
Trying to say it quietly so Alice isn't here. It's like, do you have the juice to bring anyone back? I have a diamond.
I have
How
a
do
diamond too.
But how do you choose one over the others?
Oh, so we should choose no one?
Well, I'm just saying.
Alex will say through his tears, it's too late. Revivify won't revive them.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. We got here as
Oh,
fast
Alex.
as we could.
Where's the main force? I thought they were supposed to be like in the middle of us.
They're apparently still on their way.
Or kind of screams in frustration. Is there anyone at the fort that... Oh, Alex, I'm so sorry.
As Alex continues crying, still holding Mari, is at this point the party does hear something off in the distance, a little bit northeast of them. As they look, they do see the front lines of the battalion make their way up towards this area.
Or he starts taking deep breaths and is like, Thinking about it.
So was this dragon alone, or did it have companions?
Alex will just sort of shake his head and say it was alone.
Ash wants to go look at the body, and I want to try to, cut away some of the webbing on its wings.
Okay, make a survival check.
You're collecting trophies?
Not a trophy. I want to use it on my. I want to use part of it on my quiver if I can. When I make it.
Yes.
It's not a trophy. It's leather.
Unfortunately, in the rush to do it, you're not quite able to cut off a good enough piece to use for your purposes.
Oh well.
You're lucky Mari is distracted, comforting Alex and trying not to run out in a murderous rage to the front lines of this army.
Ori's still looking at the front lines really hard. It's kind of fuming. If she ever wanted thaumaturgy instead of prestidigitation, it was right now. Really give him an earful. Has the fighting force, like, noticed us? Are they coming our way?
Yes, they have, and it appears that several people have started running over, including a couple of the other combat medics. One of them will try to help Alex how to re-bandage the arm, but Alex, being really stubborn through his tears, is just arguing with them that he knows what he's doing.
Is General Swiftfoot leading this force?
You do not see General Swiftfoot. In fact, looking at it, this appears to be about roughly a third of their forces from the battalion.
I walk up to the first
Running
one.
this clown show.
Yeah, who's in charge?
A tall, brawny orc will walk up. He'll walk up to you, Maury, and he'll say, "I'm Colonel Hart. I'm in charge of this branch of the battalion. And who are you?"
Colonel, did your forces see any action today?
"Yeah, we did. You think you're the only one who ran into danger in the wastelands? Really?"
I'm not worried about myself running into danger in the wastelands. I'm worried about these kids who the Colonel sent out on their own to get slaughtered. General, whatever.
They did their jobs.
They did more than their jobs. And they paid for it.
Is General Swiftfoot even... Did you lose troops? This doesn't seem like the full force.
Yeah. General's with the other half of the battalion.
Is there anyone else who needs help? What are they up against?
They're scanning the area to make sure there aren't any stragglers being left behind.
What kind of enemies did you face?
Dragons and devils and dragon devils.
They're in
Well,
cahoots?
Mickey closed the rift.
What rift?
Never mind.
Where do you
I
think
just walk
these
away.
creatures came from?
Back to Alex.
They came from the rift and we closed it.
Good for you. At this point, the colonel will nod over towards a couple people who have stretchers to carry the bodies of the fallen soldiers.
I'll say some last words, last rites over them.
With that, the party heads back to Fort Silva with Alex. Tension's still high by the result of the military maneuver out in the wastelands.
I just don't understand why they thought 5 was enough to flank, if this is the kind of stuff they've been up against. I mean,
5
Lori's saying this
kids.
kind of under her breath to the party.
I have kids who had been here for a month. What kind of shoddy operation is this?
We could have moved just as quickly with double, triple those forces that we were at for the flanks, easily.
We should have sent Brood in with them, or one of us should have gone with them, or something.
I
We should have
don't
done something.
want to be separated from any of you. I don't think I trust anyone to be at my back or anyone to be at your backs. Besides us. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but we also can't be there to patch the holes for the whole Kingsguard. Kingsman.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
I want to go up to Alex in his recovery bed, and I just want to tell him, hey, I know it's tough. It will get better, but you don't need to do this. It might be time to try another career. You know, it's just not worth it. Go be with Emma. Don't hang out here. Cause you more pain. Trust me, I know.
Alex doesn't look at you, Ash, but just nods his head and says, "I think you're right."
I'm just gonna pat him on the back and walk away. I don't need to say anything else. He gets it.
And with the party's spirits down, even after the end of the quote-unquote successful operation to kill off the devils that were in the wastelands in this area, we're going to end the episode here.
Ugh.
What a session.
Jeez. Oh, those boys.
Thanks so much for watching, everyone. We will see you next week.